welcome to February Favorites. Grab a cup of tea. We're going to jump into everything I've been loving in February. Okay, let's go. Okay, let me make myself smaller. Let me get this in. Make it just a little bit big. Here we go. Feb Faves. So, my first favorite is technically from January, but I did my January favorites before I went to this restaurant. So I went to this Japanese restaurant. It's called Kyoku by Endo. It's in the Old War Office, which is just one of the most incredible buildings. It's where Raffles Hotel is. So you take the elevator up, you go to the 6th floor, and then you just have all these amazing views of London. The day that I went was the rainiest day ever. I think it was probably the worst day to go because outside just looks like the most spectacular outdoor area. They invited me down because they're trying out this new bento box. So it's like a bento box that you get a little tiny bit of everything that they have on the menu. It's £40 per person, which is quite steep. But I think for the level, what the fuck else are you going to charge? Do you know what I mean? It's stunning. So that chirashi, it's a bed of rice and then you've got raw fish on top and then you've a little bit of egg and like salmon roe. Oh man, that was one of the fucking best things. Genuinely, it was so good. I would pay 40 quid for that whole thing happily. I know not everybody can afford that. I do think it's worth the money. 35 quid, I'd bite your hand off. But I do feel like it's more of a special occasion thing for the casual diner. But I had the best time. It was so delicious. I have a whole TikTok going into every single element of the dish. So fucking delicious. The service here was white tablecloth, fine dining service. It was exquisite. The service was so good. And at no point did I feel uncomfortable or like I shouldn't be there. It does feel casual, yet you're getting fine dining service. Oh, fuck me. This dessert is coming. This dessert that I got is Madeline's that have caramel on the inside, and then they have this cream that's like whiskey and white chocolate. I ate these in like 2 minutes. It was insane. And they also have a private dining room outside in a little gazebo, and you've got views of London. You can rent that out for 190 quid per person. It really is an amazing place. It was so good. The next place that we went to was Boxcar Bread and Wine. Oh my god. This was another gifted invite, just FYI. This was so good. I'm including this in my favorites because literally every day or so I keep thinking, oh, I really want to go back. So they're really famous for their croissants. I was trying to decide between all the croissants. They have this wavy, really interesting croissant. I was trying to decide between the plain one of it because they didn't have any flavored ones and this almond croissant. And the girl was like, you have to get the almond croissant. It was spectacular. I would say it was more like a croissant meets a cake because of the almond frangipane is on the top and then the croissants on the bottom, but it was so flaky and salty. It was like, oh god, it was like salted butter almond croissant. Oh fuck, it was so delicious. Then I had this absolutely massive breakfast. This was huge. This breakfast was delicious. It was like a rosti and then they had this really thick bacon with it. It was amazing. And then I had this gorgeous little stack of pancakes. Oh my god, the pancakes were so good. They were coconut, blueberry, and they came with this like coconut cream. Absolutely amazing. They were so good. And the reason that I wanted to talk about it, because I keep thinking about going back all the time because they're extending their opening hours. I can't remember the opening hour times now. It's totally escaped me, but they're doing wine and small plates in the evening. You could sit outside. Oh, I keep thinking about it. Anyway, okay, next. Oh my god. I went to Oma. So Oma is like super famous best restaurant London 2025. Everyone was throwing that phrase around. I'm sorry, but it absolutely totally lived up to the hype for me. I went with Pia. Oh my god, there she is. Pia, I absolutely love. Pia works with Amelia Liana, so I know her from Amelia Liana's vlogs, but she has started doing her own foodie content and she is so good. And she invited me to come with her to Oma. Oh my god. So it's Greek or Greek inspired, I don't know. So they do loads of these breads. The little flatbread they toast in front of you. Oh my god, incredible. They do a whole array of dips, which all were amazing. This crudo was absolutely incredible. This lamb belly and hummus I loved. So the food was fantastic. Obviously, I kind of knew the food was going to be good, but I just loved the overall buzz of the restaurant. You could choose to like sit at a table or sit at the counter. Oh my god, I love these prawns. You ate them with the shell on. So exciting. That sort of stuff gets me. So we chose to sit at the counter because I'm a counter seat gal. I love a counter seat. But you could like chat to the chefs, which was so much fun. Like they were really up for the crack and they were laughing at us because we were just like loving everything. We got extra special service, I would say. Oh my God. So I have to tell you about this. So I didn't really go into detail in the video because I didn't want to get anyone in trouble. So we saw this pork dish and we were raving about it. We were like, that looks so good. Oh my God. And the chef just gave us a plate for free. It was amazing. And then we had this olive oil ice cream with fennel flour. Was it? Or fennel seed? I can't remember. It was so good after so much food. Like we had so much food. It was incredible. One of my favorite restaurants in London. Just great, bustly, busy atmosphere. Like very great place for a date. Can't say enough nice things about it. I just loved it. My next favorites are food that I made. So this was from my San Sebastian tinned fish haul. I bought a load of tinned fish in San Sebastian and completely forgot about it. I was trying out the tinned bonito, which is like a small tuna. Don't quote me on that because the man didn't really speak that much English and I don't speak Spanish. So that's what I've gathered. In Spain, they have the bonito on toast and then anchovy on top with a little bit of olive oil. So that is what I made in this video. The tuna, look at it. It's just incredible. Sorry, the bonito, I should say. It just looks so good. It was just such high quality fish. And then the little anchovies, which were just like normal anchovies, but just way better. And then he gave me this little olive oil for free, which I just drizzled on top. And let me tell you something, it was delicious. Okay, next. Oh my God, this is a gifted PR thing. Côte is a restaurant in London and it's like French brasserie kind of restaurant. And they do this Côte at home. You can just like order stuff from their website and get it delivered to your home. And it's all like packaged up, ready to go. Like you just kind of bung it in the oven. I got this Valentine's Day like bundle. I did an early Valentine's Day for like one of my friends. It was my first time ever cooking Chateaubriand, which I was very nervous about and I did overcook. I think I was overcautious. I think I also over rested it. Anyway, I put this whole spread together. You got the Chateaubriand, you got cabbage, you got potatoes, vegetables, you got a little baked camembert for starter, and then you got this white chocolate mousse for dessert, which was banging. There's my overcooked Chateaubriand. I mean, it was okay, but it's just not the way I like to eat meat. I mean, if I made that for my mum, she'd be fucking delighted. Yeah, I want it still pink, you know what I'm saying? That's like the final spread, which I think looks like really impressive. And I think it took me like half an hour. Like you're just kind of heating everything up and plating it apart from the Chateaubriand. That's the only thing you're cooking. Love Côte. Love that they sent me that. Okay, next is another PR. This was a Waitrose PR, which was just nuts. They had like the advert playing inside the box. Crazy. So this was a tomato linguine with prawns and the sauce takes you the time it takes for the pasta to cook. So it's one of those really quick dishes. I made way too much and I had 2 massive bowls of this. I absolutely loved it. And it made me kind of think I need to do more pasta dishes. I need to do more cookery stuff. Oh my God, next is my Ninja fucking Creami. Well, first of all, the ice cream is one of my favorites. One of my favorite things that I made. But that Ninja Creami, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So I tried to make ice cream in like an old ice cream churner and it wasn't very good and it didn't really work. So I got the ice cream out of the old machine and stuck it into the Ninja Creami. So basically the idea with the Ninja Creami is you make ice cream, like you can make ice cream kind of out of anything. I did a cottage cheese one the other day and I did electrolyte sorbet. So those videos are to come. So you freeze a blended liquid and then you stick it in the Ninja Creami. Wait till you see the texture of this. Oh, that's my Marmite caramel. I'm a genius making that. That was just 10 out of 10. Look at the texture. It's so good. I wish I could eat all of that again. Oh, so creamy. So expect more ice cream content in March. Get ready. Prepare yourself. My next favorite. Oh my God. This is technically also a January favorite, but I never got a chance to include it in my January favorites. It's the Our Place frying pan. Now they sent me a pot as well. I do love the pot, but the frying pan, oh my God. It's ceramic. So easiest thing in the world to fucking clean. So it's like non-stick, nothing sticks to it. I haven't stuck anything to it yet. The only thing is I don't think you're meant to use metal utensils with it and I keep doing that. I need to stop doing that. Also, it's beautiful and blue. Look at it. Look at that egg flying around in there. I love it. The Ninja Creami and that frying pan, they're like the best two things I've been gifted. Honestly, they're so good. Oh my God, next we're doing creators. There's just been a couple of people who have really tickled me in February and they're not food related. So I'm sorry. This girl like makes content like what she would imagine it's like to go on a date with a celebrity. They are so accurate. It cracks me up. This one that she did about Scott Disick, like if you're a millennial like me and you watched a lot of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, honestly, this will send you. So this is her going on a date with Scott Disick. This is what happens.
This is what I think it'd be like to go out to dinner with Scott Disick. I'm walking up to the restaurant. I see him outside hugging a woman goodbye. I say, was that your niece? His eyes dart around. He goes, no. We sit down. The waitress comes over. She's trying to get the tea. She goes, what can I get the happy couple? He says, are you kidding me? She's old enough to be my grandma. I say, hey, I'm like over a decade younger than you. He says, exactly. Then I reach for a piece of bread. He says, whoa, sister, what are you, carbo loading for the big race? Then he starts telling me about his problems with intimacy. He says he feels like he's in arrested development because he spent his 20s popping out children like a t-shirt gun at a Lakers game. I say, didn't you only have 3? He says, yeah, sorry I'm not like you. From a small town in Oklahoma where everyone has 19 kids and a dog for the mayor. I start to say, oh, I'm not from. He says, hey, I don't need the director's cut. I'm trying to be vulnerable with you. The night ends when I say, maybe you should date women your own age. He throws $300 down on the table and says, hey, I know you've never been on a red carpet, but for celebrities, the 3rd degree is really triggering. Then he looks at me for a long time and says, here's my plastic surgeon's number. He can help with that. I say, help with what? He says, oh God, you don't even know, and walks away.
It's so good. Tell me that isn't the most accurate thing ever. She also does one with Travis Kelce and she does one with Matthew McConaughey that they both sent me into oblivion. I absolutely think she's so hilarious. Hang on, I need a sip of tea. The next person that I have been absolutely loving is this girl. I have to try and give you the context for it because it's just so random. But it's this girl who basically, her bodega man, the guy in the corner shop, like flirts with her all the time. So then she just started flirting back and she records the content and it is hysterical. I went down a rabbit hole with this. I'm so invested. And she keeps saying if she gets to a certain number of followers, she'll reveal the bodega man's face. Like she'll do an identity reveal. Just like too funny. Both of those two creators as well have like less than 10,000 followers. And I just feel like, you know, when you feel like early to the party, you're just like, this is going to be a thing. I love those two. And then the last person, I wanted to show you this because I was like, people need to know. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't blow her up before I go. This girl is like a nail technician in Camden and I am going to go. That's going to be my birthday treat. Look at the fucking nails that she does. They're insane. And she does really good short nails. And I don't think anyone else does. I see short nails and I'm just like, no. She does short nails and I'm like, that looks so good. So I'm going to go to my birthday. My birthday is in August, by the way, but that's my birthday treat. Look at those. Yeah, that's going to be my birthday treat. I'm going to go to this girl because I'm just so impressed with like everything that she does. She probably costs £1 million an hour, but yeah, I think her stuff is so cool. Look at those. Her name is Beibi Girl Nails on TikTok if you want to go. Okay, next is TV. I do not know about everybody else, but I have been loving Inside America's Next Top Model, the documentary. Like that show was insane. And also it's so interesting to look back on it through the lens of like 2026. Like fuck me, you'd be arrested if you treated someone like that on a TV show. But it was such a sign of the times as well. Like it is nice to relive that and be like, oh my God, no wonder we're all mental because like that's the TV that we watched. And I remember like it was very like The Real World. I don't know if anyone remembers that TV show where it was just this thing of like a reality TV show that like showed everything. It wasn't this thing of like now that we have like constructed reality and storylines and things like that people come up with. It's just like this was just like shoving a camera in people's faces and they were like in the hospital. Like, you know what I mean? It was just so crazy and I just feel like it was out of control. And Tyra Banks comes across horribly in it, like so bad. And I do think a lot of the things were a sign of the times, and you have to like evolve and move on and realize, yeah, actually that wasn't really great. And she did address like some of that, but she didn't address a lot of it, and also didn't take any accountability whatsoever as executive producer. Like, that was really odd. And also apologized for mad shit, like apologized for stuff that was like, there's like no need to apologize for that, and then didn't apologize for things that like she really should have apologized for a lot. You know, there were some really, really, really horrific things that happened on that show that you just have to watch it. You just have to watch it. It's extremely entertaining. And I'm so glad so many of the models came back to talk about it. And like, you got to see like where they are now and how much like some of them, their lives did not change. And then some of them, you know, got a career out of it and stuff. Very, very interesting. But yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved reliving that toxic time in my life. Like, just loved it. The next one is this Gordon Ramsay documentary that they're doing on Netflix that's like following him around for the opening of his like biggest project to date, which is smack bang in the middle of London in this massive high-rise building, and he's going to open 5 restaurants at once. I don't really understand why the fuck he's doing that. Like, just why? The documentary aspect of it, like going behind the scenes of starting this restaurant and having an insight into his other restaurants, fascinating. I also did not realize like how massive he is in America. Like, I remember he did what the fuck is it called? Kitchen Nightmares is what I'm thinking of. That he went around all the restaurants and like was like, this is shit and we're gonna shut this place down and like revamp the restaurant, whatever. But I felt like he did that for a brief stint in the UK, and then he went to America and did it, and obviously it was more entertaining because it was America and the extremes were so much more extreme. But he said he did something like 10 seasons of it, and I was like, what the fuck? And then he has the whole Hell's Kitchen thing, and then he has a restaurant in Las Vegas. I didn't know any of this. He was walking down the street in America and he was just getting mobbed. And I feel like if he walked down the street in London, would he get mobbed? Anyway, I just thought it was fascinating how famous he was. You get a lot of insight into his family life, which it is really nice to see a different side of him and how much of a family man he is and how much he loves his kids and how great he is with his kids, and he's a really good dad and all of that sort of stuff. And also quite interesting to see the pressure on his wife because he goes away so much. So it was kind of nice to see that, but I was a little bit like, do we need to see so much of your private life? But the restaurant stuff, I just honestly eating it up. I just love watching the development, like the construction, everything of the restaurant. I just thought was fascinating. There's a great episode in it about launching his kind of, I guess, like the start of the construction with a bunch of influencers, and the way that he talks about influencer marketing and stuff. He just seems really dead smart and kind of like finger on the pulse kind of guy. He just comes across really well, and I really like him in it. And I feel like was kind of indifferent to him for years, and now I'm like, seems a very down-to-earth person. So I'm halfway through it. I'm absolutely loving it. Oh, I've one beauty fave. I have this it's like a lip balm / gloss from Milani, and it's in the color Puff, and I got gifted this. Will I do a swatch on the back of my hand? Hang on. Looks a little bit muted on this, but maybe imagine a little warmer, a little pinkier. So it's quite like translucent on the lips. And I pair this with MAC's Stone or like Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, and then this. You got yourself a lip. But what I like about this is the formula. It feels like a very thick lip balm on your lips, but it's really glossy and it's not sticky. It's lip balmy. Love it. The second I run out of it, I'm buying another one. Oh, I've one more favorite, Marrakech. Can I put a whole city in my February favorites? I'm going to do a separate video on that, but I might need your help. So I'm obviously going to do the Marrakech vlog. That's coming next week. And then I wanted to do like, would you prefer like everything I ate in Marrakech? That could be a TikTok, or I could do an in-depth YouTube video of everything I ate in Marrakech, or would you prefer like a bit of a guide, just a bit of an overall, like a guide to Marrakech? Tell me which one you'd prefer, if you'd like it more food focused, even though all I did was eat, so I don't know what else I'm going to talk about. But maybe like talk a little bit more about the culture, about being in the souks, about haggling, about all of that sort of stuff. So let me know which one you prefer. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a gorgeous February. And here's to March, baby. Bye.